what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess I'm just
And
like,
it's
how can I find what a furlong is?
right there. You Google it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can wait for JD and
Hold on. How much did you say it was?
It said 600
600
feet.
feet. He said.
600 feet in the Strong's dictionary.
Say a furlong, an eighth of a mile, 220 yards.
220 yards. Okay, no man. This one's saying 600 feet or 185 meters.
We was going over that earlier today in the car, but he got it all written down how much it is. I don't know off the cup how much it is. What's talking about, brother? You got something? So go to Hebrews 11. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
This is simple. Well, this should be simple. Say if a married man, right? You have two married, got a wife. If the man sleeps with another woman, but doesn't marry her, is that considered fornication or adultery?
Fornication is adultery if he sleeps with another, if that woman was married.
All right, now the other way around. If the woman sleeps with a man and she has a husband, is that adultery or fornication?
Adultery.
That's adultery.
She's married. So the point being is the man, listen, here's the point. The man can't commit adultery if he sleeps with if he's married already. If the man's married already, has a wife, and he sleeps with another woman that's not married, all right, and does not commit to making that woman his wife, that is fornication. That is, all right, that's fornication. If same married man, you know what I mean, has the wife, sleeps with another woman that is married, they too have committed adultery, okay? He cannot make that woman his wife. Right. She's already married, okay? You get it? That's it. Get it? You understand?
All right, so the other way around. For the
woman, you understand first.
That part, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
For the woman, right? So since she's married,
yes,
and she goes and sleeps with somebody, if she sleeps with a man that doesn't have a wife, is that fornication or adultery? She
is married. That's the key phrase, right?
Right.
You said she's married.
Right.
No go. No go.
Adultery.
Adultery. She is married. All right. Like I said, we don't go over this. Man, we teach this all. We don't deal with it, but it's in the Bible. So here's the thing: a man, in short, man can have many wives as he want to have, as long as he can do what he got to do according to the book. Once the woman marries, she's locked in until that man dies. Once that man dies, she's bound to that man unless he died. Now that man, if she is in the word and she believes, and that man is an unbeliever and leaves, you know what I'm saying? The book tells that she ain't bound. Ain't that correct?
Right.
1 Corinthians 7. She's not bound to that man. Although clearly she's married. But she believes, so she's actually going by the covenant. That man ain't. You dig what I'm saying? That's what makes it that way. Now, if two people, let's read it. If two people are in the covenant, right, and get upset or whatever, and the woman decides to leave, they're both in the covenant, they're still dealing with what they got to deal with. The book's going to tell you one thing: she's going to leave, but have to stay by herself or be reconciled back to her husband. All right, where we at? 7. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and pick it up at verse 8. Read.
I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn.
All right, go ahead.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord.
So there's two people that's married, right?
Right.
All right, they're both in the truth. All right, they're dealing with the book. Go ahead.
Let not the wife depart from her husband.
So the wife cannot depart from the husband. Go ahead.
But and if
And if she depart, what?
let her remain unmarried.
So she gotta stay unmarried. Don't be going. I don't care. You've been separated for years on it. You know what I mean? Like you stay unmarried. And the other option is what?
Or be reconciled to her husband.
That's it. Ain't no women getting a divorce. Divorce decree was never put online for a woman. It's a man that gives that decree or gives a right of divorce. So that's never in the picture. That's Western civilization stuff. All right. So when you're in the truth and you're dealing with this, women, man, have some differences or whatever. The woman, if she's separate for whatever variables, differences it is, she can only stay by herself or be reconciled to her husband. That's how it goes. All right.
What's the question?
Question was dealing with adultery. With a married man, when a married man sleeps with another woman, is that considered adultery? That's where it all came from.
So what is adultery?
Adultery is when two married people sleep with the other person. This is what adultery is.
Huh?
A married man.
Not true.
No,
Say that again.
a married man and a married woman. They're married in two different places.
Adultery is what again?
When two married people.
Uh-uh.
That's wrong. Say. Adultery is when someone that's married sleeps with another married person.
No. That's all. I got it.
What you mean?
That's not adultery. You keep saying it wrong. Go ahead. Tell them what adultery is.
Adultery is when you sleep with somebody that is married.
Who said that? Raise your hand. Please stand. Please stand up. Let this woman speak in this church. Please stand up. You said that? Say it again. So now, what is adultery?
A married man.
When you sleep with a woman who is married. That's it.
A married woman.
That's it. It don't matter if it's Peter or if it's me. Because you was like, if two people married, that would be me and
Let me finish what I was saying.
no, you good.
I got it. So can I
It's for excuse me. It's fornication. Right.
That's what brother asked.
Y'all already said it, man. I said what
But I asked it, but that's not the I got it.
Y'all already said it.
But stay in here though, because you're not gone. You just stay in here. What you were saying though?
So a man can't commit adultery.
A man can commit adultery. If you slept with my wife, both of y'all commit adultery.
Absolutely.
Right. But adultery is, but that's what I asked you 3 times what adultery is. Each time you said the wrong thing. Adultery is when you sleep with another man's wife. Period. It ain't got nothing to do with who else is married. It just got something to do with her being the wife.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if me and I don't know somebody that's not married slept together, that's not adultery. That's fornication. Right. If 2 people ain't married and we got rules that we got to make. Where I was going with that question, though, Ira, is let's go to Matthew chapter 5, y'all. Because it say that a woman can commit a woman can put away her husband. So I was about to ask you about that. That's what we was getting at.
That was my next question.
Oh, that was your next. Yeah, that's right. That's where we was going. Where is that one? Is that one Matthew? Is that one? It's in here like 3 times. But I say, whosoever should put away his wife, saying for the fall. All right, we'll read this first, Matthew 5, and we'll pick it up in verse 27 through 32. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you. 5, verse 31. 27 through 32. That's what we're reading right now. So when you get there, Matthew 5, 31 through 32.
It has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her, that is divorced, committeth adultery. Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oath.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right, so let's look at another one. Mark chapter 10. So this is what I was getting at. Mark chapter 10. But here it's showing you whosoever should put away his wife, let him give her a written divorcement. But putting it says, but I say unto you that whosoever should put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. Whosoever should marry her that is divorced, commit adultery. So now let's look at this Mark chapter 10 though. This is why I was getting at with you, Ira. I was gonna ask this question, but you had to get the adultery part right. That you was moving too fast? That you was moving too fast?
Probably so.
Cause I'm like, I asked you 3 times, you see.
I already went through all this. I was like,
It didn't matter what you went through, it was the fact that I was asking again because I was leading up to another question. Maybe I didn't hear what part you went through. So you gave the wrong answer like 3 times. Till this sister out here was like, no, it has nothing to do but with a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's what adultery is. That's why when you commit adultery, it say you lack understanding. Why is it that you lack understanding? Because you're stealing something that belongs to this man. All right? That's the big thing about adultery. But here's the question, though. Mark chapter 10, and pick it up at verse 10.
And in the house his disciples asked him again of the same matter. And he saith unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another committeth adultery against her. And if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committeth adultery.
So that's the question that we was gonna get at. And if a woman should put away her husband and be married to another, she commit adultery. Does anybody know how? How does if adultery is when y'all sleep with a woman who is married? How there we go. How is it that you commit adultery? I'm gonna read the verse one more time. It says, and if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committed adultery. How's that?
The husband is still alive. The former husband is still alive.
Okay. Now that's true. He's saying because the former husband is still alive. Here's the better question: how can a woman put away her husband?
She can't.
Right. Biblically, that wasn't sound.
exactly.
Now, why would he say that though? Because in the Roman day, like today, they can do so. So that's what he's getting at. So adultery is where a man sleeps with a woman who is married. That is adultery. But again, it says, and if the woman should put away her husband and be married to another, it's saying, well, she committed adultery because that's just, it's like the same, it's like all y'all guilty of the same crime. That's what he's saying, because he even saying that to a man when a man put away his wife and goes and marries another. What it says, let's go find that one. Did we read that one already? That was Matthew 5. All right, in verse that's 32, right? 5 and 32.
Yep.
All right, so let's read that one.
Started at 31 then.
All right, let's read that one again, yo. Yeah, started 31 and 32.
It have been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery. Again, ye have heard that it has been said by them of
All right,
old.
that's good. So I tell you what, we're not gonna answer that question like that. We're gonna answer the next question, which is gonna be all based on the same thing. So if I am, is it fornication or adultery? If I'm lying with my wife, it's a question, y'all, and thinking about somebody else that don't have to be married. So I can be thinking about I don't know. Halle Berry. I don't know if she's married. I always say Halle, don't she? Yeah. Okay, but whatever. But what I'm saying, so the question is that sin?
Yes.
Verse 28.
Because it starts in the mind.
Yes.
5 and 28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her in his heart already. So, and we're going to go to Matthew 15 while we're doing this. So let's go to Matthew 15. So my question to y'all is this. What law am I breaking? And it is one, so don't say it ain't, because I don't want y'all to take the question the wrong way. What law am I breaking if I am sitting here, sleeping with my wife, thinking about, I don't know, Rosa Parks? I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's an old one there. But what law am I breaking? Like, what literal law am I breaking?
Causing your presumptuous thoughts, like
Actually, it's in the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not covet. But we gonna see it though. We gonna see it clearly because you're not realizing what you coveted. That's the part. That's the problem of it all. What is it that you covenant? You covenant. Well, in this case,
He's not married.
it's my daughter. See, let's go read something. Let's go to Numbers now. Like you might, what do you mean? Okay, so we're gonna go to Numbers and we're gonna understand this. That's what we're gonna do. Numbers chapter 30, I think. Yeah, Numbers chapter 30. That's why, like, yeah, this is a good place to go. So, like, when you covenant after when you covenant after a woman, she either belongs to, you know, her daddy, or she belongs to her husband. Like, that's it. That's really much all it is. And so when you look at it, like, this is, I can say you in Leviticus, this is your father's nakedness. That's what it says. It say that a man ain't supposed to sleep with his daughter. That's his nakedness. You know what I'm saying? Like, or my son ain't supposed to sleep with my daughter because that's my nakedness. That's what it says. It's my nakedness, meaning that she belongs to me, not that I get to see my daughter's naked. I hope y'all don't look at it. I ain't looking. I don't want to look at it. So at any rate, but let's look at this Deuteronomy 30 though, right? I mean, Numbers 30. I'm sorry. That's that I'm getting old. And let's pick it up at verse 2. We'll start it there.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she hath bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disannul her in the day that she hit,
so if you pay any attention that this daughter, her father has the ability to disannul her vows. So it's just like perfect. No, I don't mean we use that. So it's just like if somebody wanted to marry my daughter, and you know my daughter, they talked about it. You know, Brother Jude's son, you want to marry Micaiah. So they talked about it like they finna get down and do all this. And then next thing you know, they get to talking to me. And I'm like, oh no, not over my dead body. You know what I'm saying? This ain't finna happen. Because she belongs to me. So now if he goes and do it, you took from me. And you took from what belongs to me. And we'll see what we mean by that. Let's go to Exodus real quick. Going back to the initial question. Let's go to Exodus 23. Exodus 22, that's where we're gonna go. After I finish this question, you come back up here. I just need to, really it was another question that was related to it all that we gotta answer. But it was going down the same vine, which is still, really the question that we're answering right now is, what law am I committing? Because see, here's the thing. People could say you sinning all day. Like they was talking about, we was listening to secular music at the party, so we was sinning. My question is, what law did we break? Tell me, what law? What commandment? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, sin is a commandment. So now when you say that you lusting after my daughter, you know, or you lusting after another woman, what sin are you breaking? Well, I guess I kind of get the answer away. But you sleeping with somebody and you thinking about somebody that's not your person that you're sleeping with. So what sin are you breaking? Like what sin are you committing? Mm-hmm. That's really what we asking. Now, are you stealing? No, you ain't took nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You ain't. So it says you committed adultery with her in your heart. So let me ask you a question. Is doing something in your heart the same thing as doing it? Yeah. Yep. It is not. Why not? I kill you in your heart. Is you dead or alive? In my heart. Is you dead or alive?
Nah, not actually doing it.
You understand? Mm-hmm. So the question is just that simple. Is doing something in your heart the act of doing it? No. So if I have committed adultery in my heart, does that mean that I committed adultery with Sister Lisa? No, it doesn't.
That's how God is going to see it.
So the question is, what sin? Because you're gonna be judged based off of sin, like you know what you did and what I gave the answer away. Which was you coveted it. That's what you're doing. But I'm trying to show us how you're coveting something that doesn't belong to you. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get us to do. This woman, Micaiah, belonged to me. How dare you covet after her? You got a whole rule of procedures that you got to go do. That's the law that you're actually breaking. Because otherwise, somebody else going to be slick, Brother Jude, and be like, I could think what I want to think, but I ain't did nothing, so I ain't did nothing. And that is true. You did like you can't sentence me to prison for 100 years for thinking about killing the president. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. So that's the point. So what law are we breaking? So now when you go to Exodus 22, read verse 16 and 17. I think 16. Yeah, 16. Go ahead.
If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
You see what that's telling you? That's saying that she ain't just out here able to make her own moves. She ain't just out here random. There go her daddy, and you slept with him, so now you owe some money. That's the rule. And you supposed to take her to be a wife if he say so. So he could still say, I can't stand you. You baby kids. No, the answer is no. He can still make, so this woman belongs to someone. Now let's go to Exodus 20. Go ahead. They should belong to somebody. He asked a good question, a very fair question. A question that is really relevant. What if they don't belong to nobody? For example, this 2020, we don't live back then. So, number one, what if she been divorced and she lived with her kids and she take care of her own business? Then guess what? She can make her own decisions. You know what I'm saying? Or you can treat it like a widow. But the book don't never cover none of that. So it's not a real answer I can give you on that. You know what I'm saying? The way it's supposed to be is you supposed to be with your daddy or your man. But this 2021, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't. But I'm just giving you the rules to what do. That's all. So, and your question is fair because my mom asked the same thing when she got into work. Who's my head? That's what my mama wanted to know. And she learned your head is God. Like, you a grown woman. You do what you want to do. Your head, my granddad, my granddad couldn't say to my mama do this and that at that point in time. She's a grown woman now. She had to have been married and divorced by that time. You don't just go back to be with your daddy after you get divorced. You ain't supposed to get a divorce. So at any rate, Exodus 20, and let's look at verse, we're just going to read one verse, really. 17.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
So, to answer the question, now we can go to Matthew chapter 15. To answer the question, is it okay for me to be thinking about Judy Garland while I'm laying in the bed with my wife? If I'm covenanting after, she belongs to somebody else. It said on anything that is thy neighbor's. So, because y'all might be like, well, it didn't say wife. It said anything. She belongs to, if you about to call up Ira, like, oh, can I be covenant after your daughter? You not. You're not. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're not going to do that. I mean, don't call me asking me that, all right? I don't think something wrong with you, But I'm just saying, so don't play the game, especially if you married. That was where the question came from. And the reason the question comes is because, well, number one, because we understand that if she's single, then all practical purposes, if we was back in Africa, let's just say, I could take her to be my wife. So when did I start lusting after her? You know what I'm saying? We could say that. But at the end of the day, though, we understand, number one, we ain't walking around here taking wives. Can't afford it. I'm sure if you don't, y'all in Africa, not y'all, don't cultures in Africa, to your knowledge, got to pay for the women when they get them. Yeah, I'm asking him because I think he might know. I know somebody who got more than one from Africa who told me how much he paid for it. And guess what? It was some sheep, y'all. I started laughing. Like, yeah, because I thought he was joking. You know what I'm saying? He was really, no, he's like, no, I had to get him a certain amount of goats. I was like,
is expensive.
huh?
That's expensive.
Yeah, but I still thought he was joking, bro. Like, you went and gave this man a whole bunch of goat for his daughter. Like, that was really the answer. But that's what it was. So I'm saying, even to this day, they ain't just randomly, oh, yeah, I look good and she look good and she number 3. It don't work like that. It work like, look, you're supposed to be bought and paid for. Ownership is what a man has over a woman in reality of what the scriptures is teaching. That's what I'm like, this crap we doing now, we ain't doing, all we doing is being some hoes and hormones. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So, you know how we were saying if the woman's like she her own,
Yeah.
wouldn't she be considered as your neighbor?
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to cover nothing on your neighbor.
I mean, what you gotta ask her first? I mean, I don't know how that go. I know what you're saying. I'm with you, but I'm saying so I meet the girl at the bar. You know what I'm saying? And I get her in the word. Okay. So one day I come to church. I know this is gonna sound strange, but I was wondering if I could start thinking about you. I mean, you know, so I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can just say I've been with my wife a long time. I don't have a problem. Matthew chapter 15, though. Matthew chapter 15. And let's start at verse 16. Matthew 15 and 16. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's, at the end of the day, it's you don't want to be lusting after nobody, child. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even though the person who asked me the question wasn't thinking about nobody, child, I can guarantee you that. But still, that you don't want to be lusting after these women. Period. Like, she not yours. Like, we gotta. Now, here's the thing, though. You know, single man, single woman. Like, what is it? Well, you seen what he read earlier. It's better to marry than to burn. Like, obviously, you got that burning desire, and hey, you need to go get married than to be stuck with them problems that you got that's gonna lead to other stuff. So, but because at the end of the day, you gonna lust. At the end of the day, you gonna covet. Like that's what even Paul was saying. I had not known covet unless he said, you know, I not had known lust unless he said, thou shalt not covet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you are like, you might not covet a woman, but you gonna covet. That's just something I want you to understand. And I'm not saying you should be. What I'm saying is the world is designed to make us covet. That's what I'm getting at. So when you ride past McDonald's with the kids, that's them coveting. You know what I'm saying? Like when they see them golden arches. So I'm just saying the world is designed to make you covet. But let's look at this Matthew 15. Let's pick it up in verse 15.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And Jesus said, are ye also without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the draught? But those which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceedeth evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defile not a man.
Right. So at the end of the day, what come out your heart, like he said, come evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, false witnesses. So this stuff come from your mind. It always gonna start here. Adultery, all that. It's gonna always start right here. But at the end of the day, it's not adultery. FYI, if you just think about it. You might be lusting, but therefore going to that path of adultery. You committed adultery. It didn't even say you committed adultery already. What did it say, y'all?
In your mind.
You committed adultery in your heart or your mind already. Right. It's not that you have done the act. Because you know, we was teaching that. When I say we was teaching that, brothers, we'd be saying that, yeah, you lusting after her. You done committed adultery with her. No, I didn't. I ain't never did nothing with her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even been 80 feet of that shit. So how you gonna make it seem like I committed adultery? Now, in my mind, I might be doing some stuff like it tell you in Proverbs, the thoughts of foolishness is sin. So I might be doing something I ain't got no business doing in my mind, but nah, you only commit adultery when you commit it. So hopefully that helped answer the questions too, because it was an actual question that came up, which let me make sure we got the question answered. You come back on. The question is, this is the real reason I was taking over anyway. The question is, I think they wrote it down. No, he wrote it down for me. The question is, I'm going to repeat it. If I am married, lying with my wife, and I start thinking about another woman that's not married, am I wrong in or committing adultery? And sisters, y'all in here, I'm just going to be honest with you. That's a man problem. Straight up. Like when I say that's a man problem, I'm saying the brother that asked me that question, I don't even know if it's his problem. I don't care. What I'm saying is men have that problem where they with their wife and they fantasizing with Halle Berry or whomever the heck. I'm not saying every single man. You looking at her looking at him like you don't see her looking at him. They ain't worried about that. Right? I'm just saying though, that's a problem that men as a general.
But again, you can't say
It's
that.
true,
You
I
can't
can learn
speak,
something, right?
For every man, yeah, but when I say that though, I'll put it to you like this.
You don't know what these women think.
I got you. I got you. I got what you saying. I put it to you like this. Number one, that's why they make porn. because of how men's desires are. But number two, the strip clubs too. But number two, you can actually go and look up a census on them asking men this. Who do they think about sleeping with when they with their wife? And that's why I really know that that's an answer. You know what I'm saying? Now that's why I say it might not be like me and Glenn. Hey, I know who you got. You know who I got. That's all we can look at, man. I'm holding to that. I'm sticking to that till I die. Now, but what I'm saying is, some of them other brothers, they was honest about theirs and was like, yo, when some people don't even see it as a negative or wrong because they ain't doing nothing. So if they can, I mean, I know it's a grown people conversation, but I'm just saying if somebody can manage to be with their wife while they thinking about Janet, that's their world. But it's not right though. And that's the answer to the question. It's not right. It's the thought of foolishness. And it's going to lead you down a path of sleeping with Janet's lookalike when you see her given the opportunity. And the Lord is saying he's judging your thoughts. Yep. So hopefully that answers that question. Yep. That's why I need to know what the adultery was. Like you about to mess up my whole question.
Is this yours?
Oh, what?
Tim's like, not my man.
Sorry for you.
What's nice?
It don't start day one. That's the problem. Day one, he all into you.
Right.
No,
Is that
you're
your
eight.
eighth?
Right, we start going through midlife crisis. Right.
Eddie Murphy said, I thought I had bricks. It's just regular old crack. There we go. All right, anybody?
Give it a
Yes.
One online.
Huh?
One online.
What's that?
Exodus 22:16. Considering this scripture, does a couple have to be financially stable before getting married?
Shoot, it would be nice.
If so, how financially stable?
So what's the answer then, Mikhail?
I don't know.
I'm asking you. You think about that question. What's the answer? I'm asking you. Are you gonna ever get married?
Maybe
Is it gonna be dependent on money?
a little bit.
You ain't gonna never get married.
That's a little bit.
You understand what I'm getting at now? You ain't gonna never get married if it's dependent on money. If we set a price, we ain't marrying my daughters. My price high. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so
You just set the population of Hartwell County a new high. Just won the Rusty, boy. 22 and what?
we read it already.
22 and 16, you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, all right, yeah. But bro, if a man Tyson made is not betrothed alive with her, he should surely endow her and be his wife. Verse 17 say what, bro?
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Okay, so now what's the dowry of virgin?
Right.
What's that about? What's that about? It's a price that a woman that was set for a woman at the time because if her virginity is taken, you know what I mean? Correct me if I'm wrong, as I understand it. You know, you marry virgins, which is far few and in between these days, but you know, that was a high commodity. No man wants to be dealing with somebody else that's right. So you're going to pay it. That's why the book tells us that, you know, a man is not supposed to go to Deuteronomy 23 and 17 and read that. Make sure it's there. No. 20. Deuteronomy 22 and pick it up at verse 19.
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father.
No, wrong. 28, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Yeah, 28.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt.
All right, so this 50 shekels of silver. There's 50 shekels of silver, and I don't know how much that is. Can I find out? Can you find out how much that is? How much that 50 shekels of silver?
Where y'all at?
We had Deuteronomy 22 and verse 29.
Alright. Probably tell me. Hold on. Let me get that.
Because that's what's given. That was like the dowry of virgins. That's the dowry of virgins, or what one would be. What a woman would be worth.
Deuteronomy 22 and 19.
Exodus 22 and
Oh,
29. I'm sorry, Deuteronomy 22 and 29.
Oh well. Oh, it say the man that lay with her and give him to the damsel's father $88. That's 57.
I guess today's term, but I guess it was a little bit more.
A
A whole lot more
$88 back then.
back then. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot more than what it is today. You know, looking like $88. You know, I've been on the joint. They be like, you got a $5
That's like 500,000.
streetwalker.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know about $500, but
It's a lot. It's a lot of money back then. You know what I mean? Trust me, the money that he had to pay, you know, it's gonna put a dent in your wallet. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine $1.
But that was
20
for a
years ago.
woman, though. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, the importance of it is you would have a virgin. Like it wasn't no laying around and you know putting mileage on the car. It was for that man and it was for his entire life. So that was a high commodity. That's what it is. So the father couldn't get slick. You know what I mean? And then try to, you know, because he don't like you or your family ain't of a good pedigree or whatever situation it might be, because the book said if the father utterly refused. Now, according to what the man is supposed to do, if he done lied with that woman, he's supposed to do what he got to do to make her his wife. He's doing the honorable thing. Now, the father could be like, you know, for whatever reason, man, I just don't like, I don't like the way that your head is round, man. I don't like the way, whatever, you know what I mean? Or maybe I don't think you can provide for my daughter or whatever. I refuse to do that because he humbled her and took her virginity. You know what I mean? It's like I said on the Color Purple. Celia is ugly, you know. She been spoiled twice. That's what I said. Spoiled twice. That means she had 2 babies. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody done laid with her. You know what I mean? You don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? You want a virgin. So that's it. You're supposed to pay the father for that. You know, you done tampered with my daughter, and like I said, she's property. You know, it may sound, it can sound, what is it, dogmatic or debatable, or whatever. But this is how the Lord set it up this way. You know what I mean? He set it up this way. And so it's hard coming back to the law, statutes, commandments, God, when living off the mindset that we had, that we're in right now. You know, the father, you know, let me show you something, just dealing with how serious it is about like being good or having a daughter being underneath a father, or even with a son. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to bring shame or dishonor upon your father or your son like that. Look at this. Go to I want to say, give me a second right here. So I was reading this the other day, and this happened to be with the high priest. Leviticus. I'll tell you exactly where it's at. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. You know how they say, to whom much is given, much is required? First Timothy. For Leviticus 21. Turn to Leviticus 21. So if you happen to be the person or daughter that was born in the Levitical priest line, or dealing with the high priest, and you was born unto him, bro, you better keep the straight and narrow, because you know how they say, like, you want a good woman, you go to the church or whatever, you know what I mean? You do all that. The woman, the daughter that was to the high priest, you supposed to be walking straight and narrow. You can't be doing no hanky-panky and all that stuff, man, for real. So look at this. Leviticus chapter 21, and pick it up at verse. Pick it up at verse 1. We're going to skip and do some skipping. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, There shall none be defiled by the dead among his people.
Go ahead.
But for his kin that is near unto him, that is for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his sister a virgin that is nigh unto him, which have had no husband, for her may he be defiled.
Right, yeah. So even in that instance right there, you know, because he had the position that he has, you know, You can't even, like, my friend passed away. Well, you know, all right, well, somebody else is going to bury him. I got the anointing oil on me. I can't really deal with him like that, but I can deal with my nearest of kin. And if I have my daughter and she got married out, then even if she passed, I can't even really deal with that on that situation because she's out of my household. You understand? And like brother JD Taz said, like, listen, when a woman is at an older age, before that, she's in her father's household. This is how it's supposed to be. She's in her father's household. And then after that, the father gives her away to another man, and then she's in his household. He is her cover. Before that, the father is the woman's cover. So now watch this. Go skip down to verse 7.
They shall not take a wife.
These are the sons of Aaron, which is the priest line. All right. What he say?
They shall not take a wife that is a whore.
All right. So listen. Even so, they can't even. The woman that they get, the priest, they can't even be, out there selling their body. They can't even be defiled because they have the anointing oil of God on them.
So I could sleep with a whore, but the priest could.
Huh? You are the priest.
No, I'm saying I'm just a regular. I'm from the tribe.
Yeah, definitely.
So I could sleep with a whore. I could go marry a whore.
That's what it said. Batman, and look, wait, and look,
Huh?
and look what
No, that's what he's saying. The scripture saying right now. Go read it again.
look what Hosea said. He told Hosea to go take
Read
the
it
mark.
again. He's saying it don't say that. Read it.
Read verse 7. Read.
They shall not take a wife that is a whore
Go ahead.
or profane. Neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband.
Why?
For he is holy unto his God.
So look at all the stipulations
Who
of
is
the
this
priest.
though? This the priest.
These are the priests, yeah.
So if
Sons
he's
of
not
Aaron.
being a priest, then
Have at it.
I can take a woman that's been divorced or that's a
Absolutely.
whore.
Absolutely.
Meaning not a current day whore.
Yeah,
meaning the
yeah.
ex-whore.
But however,
So Rahab the harlot, I could have slept with her. But if I was the high priest, when I say sleep, I mean marry. But if I want to marry Rahab, I can't marry her. Not as a high priest.
No, sir. Especially not the high priest.
Or a priest.
Yeah. No, sir. We're about to read about the high priest. About why I came here is because of the daughter of the high priest and how you're supposed to conduct yourself and how it's supposed to be done. So keep reading. It starts at verse 10, but keep on reading down. Verse 8.
Thou shalt sanctify him therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy God.
Uh-huh.
He shall be holy unto thee, for I, the Lord, which sanctify you, am holy.
All right, now watch this. Verse 9. Go ahead.
And the daughter of any priest,
The daughter of any priest, go ahead.
if she profane herself by playing the whore,
Uh-huh.
she profaneth her father.
And what?
She shall be burnt with fire.
So listen, you see, so when I've been in churches where, the preacher's daughter, she was the one to go to. You know what I mean? But now I'm sorry, man. I'm a little bit raw, but I'm just telling you the truth about it. I'm telling you the truth about the matter. She messing up her father's name. Now, according to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you see what the punishment is behind that. You see what the punishment is behind her actions, all right? Keep reading, brother.
And he that is the high priest among his brethren,
Go ahead.
upon whose head the anointing oil was poured, and that is consecrated to be put on the garments, shall not uncover his head, nor rend his clothes.
What else?
Neither shall he go into any dead body, nor defile himself, for he is father, or for his mother.
So man, like man, my mother, my father died. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we're gonna get other people to deal with that and take care of that situation. Like when look what Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord. What happened? We can read that. We can read it clearly and see what happened with that. That's the nearest of kin to Aaron. There's his sons. He's like, man, look, you got the anointing oil on you. Have your brethren come and scoop them up. And you can't even go out to the tabernacle and don't even cry for them. So you say you're crying for them, then you saying that my judgment is not what it is. Like God's judgment is. So you have to really buck up and be like, it is what it is. Like, get it personal. You got a job to do. That's why it's important, it's imperative, brothers and sisters, that, you take God seriously and sanctify him in your hearts. You know what I'm saying? So watch this. Keep reading, man. I'm going to read some more stuff. Come on. Some good stuff. Verse 11. Read verse 11 again.
Neither shall he go into any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or his mother.
Go ahead.
When they say go into dead body, they talking about like go to a funeral or something?
No. Like,
They talking about go necrophilia crap. They talking about go.
what?
Yeah.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Some old
Yo, you go into any dead body. Who would do I wouldn't even see that. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is. It is people that's on that. Yeah, they weird like that.
Ted Bundy.
Yo, people, wow.
Why would you even think that's crazy?
That's why it's lawful. Like it's illegal to like even mess with the dead bodies. Cause like imagine
Oh, because of that. Yeah, all right.
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying. Like think about the stuff we'll do. Just imagine like we want to take somebody from New York back to Philly. So we gonna put them in the car. It's a dead person. You gonna put them in the car though? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. Like you ain't supposed to mess with the dead. Lead them. Take them to the funeral home.
Let the people that's supposed to do it deal with.
The land acknowledge that.
Yeah.
If you do an extra charge, you didn't kill them, but if you defile the corpse, that's an extra charge.
Right, right. Well, I guess that's what verse 12 is about to talk about. Go ahead. Read.
Neither shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his God.
Why?
For the crown of the anointing oil of his God is upon him.
All right, verse 13.
And he shall take a wife in her virginity.
See, so this is the high priest. So there's not supposed to be, like you say in Deuteronomy 20, this is 22 where we're reading, or 23, it says, there shall not be a whore of the daughters of Israel, nor sodomite of the sons of Israel. You know what I mean? And the father, I'm missing the verse, the father is not supposed to prostitute the daughter. You understand? Because once a man humbles her, he's supposed to surely endow that woman to be the wife, be his wife, right? But if the father utterly refuses, then he's supposed to pay the dowry of virgins unto her. And according to what we just said, it was $88, which now, like, I mean, it's something totally different then. But now, what if the father was on some slick stuff like, well, shoot, if I can get this money now, then I can say that my daughter is a virgin to the next man. And then when he humble her, say, oh, no, I don't like what you're doing. And he gonna get money from him, and then do it over again. That's prostituting your daughter. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to do that. All right? God got everything covered. So it was serious about being a virgin back then. You know what I mean? And especially when we had a priest line and a high priest. You know what I mean? It's like that's who you marrying. If everybody's having fun with everybody, it makes the whole land portal. And God kicked out the nations around it, the nation that our forefathers got. He kicked them all out for that very reason. That's what Leviticus 18 is all about. All that stuff. What else, brother? Verse 14.
A widow or a divorced woman or profane or a harlot, these shall he not take, but he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife. Neither shall he profane his seed among his people, for I the Lord do sanctify him.
So look, I read this, right? Now I didn't know what it was. I was going to ask you about this too, okay? When it said, neither profane his seed from among the people. I'm like, is that a...
Yeah, the high priest, he ain't supposed to be sleeping with nobody but Levi. Like,
Okay, got you. All right, yeah, all right. Because I read that, I was like, what do you mean? When he's talking about the seed, or was it talking about his children? Like, here, you go get this person.
You know, he's supposed to be, what verse are we at?
We have verse
17?
15.
Neither shall he profane his seed among his people. Yeah, he like it's saying, a widow or a divorced woman or a profane or a harlot, these shall not take, but he should take a virgin of his own people. Neither shall he profane his seed among his people. Like he ain't even supposed to
just
like bro,
anybody.
Yeah, like you supposed to stick right with you. Whatever, whatever the rules is for the high priest or whatever.
Word.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you're seeing it was very serious back then.
Verse, you see how in the 14 it say, but he should take a virgin of his own people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall he profane his seed among his people.
Right.
For I, the Lord, do sanctify.
Yes, sir.
So in plain words, you can't, with the high priest can't, I still don't understand. You can't profane his seed among the people. What does that mean? Like he can't sleep with somebody outside of his people or what?
Right.
Outside of his tribe?
Yes.
Oh.
But not his mama, cousin, sister, though. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, not mama, sister, but like one of them cousins.
To the fourth generation, somewhere around there, like to the fourth or fifth generation.
Yeah.
It's like you can't be your nearest of kin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
But it's within your same people.
So if it's your fifth cousin, then it's cool.
Yeah.
It's your second cousin.
Yeah, second cousin, right? It can't be near.
As long as it ain't in Leviticus as a taboo.
Right.
Then you can sleep with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you know, that's about it.
That's why all the high priests look alike. Let me stop.
That's oh man,
So
man,
you
we get into that law, man. The law be really
So you should be financially stable.
oh financially stable.
It should be smart to be.
Yeah, you know, as my teacher, Brother Elijah, he would say, sometimes when people get into when we get into relationships, we usually get into them upside down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we like working where we working as we build our marriage. We're working to get out of debt. We be going in, man, debt crazy, woman debt crazy. You know what I'm saying? What else? Repossessions, all type of stuff. But how much better would it be if you go into your relationship? You know what you're going into. You know, and the man is supposed to do what he's supposed to get the woman out of father's house and bring him into his house. You know what I'm saying? Men be going in, the woman got the house. You know what I mean?
We just curse.
We messed up. It's messed up all the way around the board. You know what I mean? We supposed to be taking care of the woman. You know what I mean? We in places where it's like, whew, you know, we be maybe behind the eight ball. You know what I'm saying? I can only speak about myself, man. My check be getting ate up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, I'm glad my wife is here. You know what I'm saying? But praise the Lord that He's enabled me to get to a place where I can be like a person that be provided instead of being provided for. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, I know what the struggle is, but nonetheless, it does not negate the fact of what the Lord commanded the man to do. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be the providers. We supposed to be the protectors. We supposed to be the priests of our household. We give our families spiritual guidance and protection. So if I'm protecting my wife, that's what I'm supposed to do. What treat her like, give myself like Christ gave the church, right? Ain't that what it say? Let's read it. How we doing?
That's Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 5.
So I guess the answer to the question is what?
You would want to go
Yes or
in.
no?
Yes.
No.
I say be stable, man.
No, that's not true.
Why
Read
not?
the question again. Read the question again. What you mean why
Oh
not?
no, I'm saying because I thought it was the question was should I
Read
be
the question.
financially-
Should I be? Say you sitting there. See, this is what happens. Read the. You see the question?
Yeah.
What happens is,
Read it.
so now we ain't getting married, but we sleeping together because I ain't got the money right.
No, it didn't say they're sleeping together.
The question was, do I read the question?
Yeah.
Considering the scripture, does a couple have to be financially stable before getting married?
Considering the scripture, does the couple have to be financial? No.
A couple.
No.
Yeah,
The answer
absolutely.
is no.
Absolutely
You
no.
get married when if you grown enough to put
Absolutely
the
no.
Ruby to the Tootie, then you grown enough to go get
Yeah,
married.
you going in now.
Right.
You gotta do. You say you surely must do. You say you surely must endow her to be your wife. Well, I ain't got no money.
So
Too
then
bad.
you working for my buddy.
Now I'm working now.
That's Jacob. That's
Like
Jacob
Jacob.
working for Laban.
Right.
So the answer to that question is no.
Absolutely no.
Because the reality of it too is men are dating before they even have a job. You know what I mean? Like in high school, you know what I mean? Kids are like dating, and they're doing what they're not supposed to do.
Yeah,
but
12
they're
years
doing
old.
it. Yeah.
12 years old.
Basically.
9 years
12?
old.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We got youngins in here.
Yeah,
They don't
if
need
you
to
have
know
it.
that exists. All right, so we can go to the next question.
That's
Wait,
what.
That's too young right there.
Like,
Can
man.
I land that?
You sure can.
Land that question?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the distinction? I just need to hear the languaging, the wording. If they're a couple, then your answer was if they're a couple, then they don't need to be financially stable. They're already a couple, so they should be going ahead and getting together.
Yeah.
But if they're what? Just
Based off the question.
starting to date and they're not a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, that's another thing.
no. See, just based off of his question.
Right.
The question is, read the question again.
Yeah. Look.
Does a couple have to be financially stable before getting married?
Does a couple have to be No, you missed the part. Based off the
Based off the
scripture, he
Based
said.
off the
Right.
scripture.
So the answer is no.
No, and I'm good with that. So how do we word this question where it's yes? Because see,
I know what you're saying.
because
There's not a way to
This
word
child
it
here,
where it's yes.
the reason why he answered you when you said, "What do you think, Kale?"
Yes.
Because I told him,
Yes.
have your mess together before you bring
Before
home.
enticing your
Right,
child.
and you're right. Proverbs 30 is telling you you're right. But if You grown enough to put the Rudy to the Tootie.
Yeah, no, not that. That's
Right.
not in place.
Right, see that, but that's
But
the
that's
thing.
the issue.
Based off the scripture,
Yeah.
it doesn't give a dollar amount of what you have if you lay with somebody. So then, my idea, and I agree with you 100%. Like, you need to have your papers right.
Right.
But biblically, it's not saying that.
No, I'm saying, so moving away from that question. So, is it correct when well, you already answered it, when I teach him, your paper and your home better be set before
Absolutely.
you ask her for her hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because look how it's set up. I'm supposed to be buying her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we might not be buying in America, but the idea of it came from God. So you should be able to at least put her up in the house. Make sure she got a car and what she need if we're going to get married. Otherwise, why should she come talk to my daughter? She's straight with me. You know what I mean? She got everything she need with me and she about to run out with you. Yeah, that is bad. So, I mean, no, so I agree with the idea. But biblically is what we're talking about. And biblically, if he ain't got no money, but he puts some Rudy to the Tootie,
Yeah, then they're already,
then I feel sorry for both of them.
Yeah.
They got a long journey to climb.
Yeah, and that's and even when looking at the scriptures, when you look at what Jacob did too, you know what I mean. Before he even laid with his wife, which she got tricked for, he worked 7 years.
But he came broke though.
Well,
No, seriously,
Yeah.
you got here broke. You want one of my daughter's work.
yeah. Man, this is tough.
So he had to earn the dowry of what the virgin was. That 7 years the dowry of what the virgin was.
That's the dowry he said. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So the father can set the dowry of what he
All
wants.
day.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Oh,
Ain't no. I mean, I'm saying my daughter a princess.
right.
Yeah. So you paying princess prices. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
JD's like, I want Jordan 1s to 23.
Go to
Oh,
Jordan.
we got Jordan. I need Jordan houses over here. Forget shoes. I can buy my own shoes. You have to come with a little more than what I. You got a couple more than I got. Straight up.
Go
You
to
want my
29,
daughter?
go to,
Bring it
Genesis
better than me.
29 and 14. This is cold right here, boy.
Where you at?
Genesis 29 and 14. Every time I read this, I'll be like, man, you must have really loved those girls. You know what I mean? Coming up what I'm doing. Genesis 29 and pick it up at verse 14.
And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?
What he said? I mean, keep going.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Raquel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Raquel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Raquel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Raquel, thy younger daughter.
He said,
7 years.
And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Raquel, and they seemed unto him but a few days.
So I mean, you looking at that, what he's doing. So 7 years, he attending the flock, gaining his own, you know what I mean, getting his wealth up. He getting up his wealth and his riches, you know what I'm saying, as he getting there, so that when he does eventually get the wife, he gonna be able to sustain her. He gonna be able to stay in his own place, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we know the story behind it. 21 years. 21 years it was?
14.
Yeah.
21.
Seven. Like after he got it, he still worked.
Yep, it's like, yeah, man. So, I mean, so he was really, you know, he was made rich, you know what I'm saying? But that's why he could have
all that, and his wife died after she had the last baby.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Leah was still alive though.
They was playing them games though. He was like, man, should you have my husband and my son's with
the mandrakes?
Mandrakes. He like, oh, let me go home. I'm tired. He's like, oh, nah, brother. I sold you today. You go over there.
He's an example of what happens when you ain't got no money and you have more than one wife. You gonna have a headache and all hell in that world.
Man. Yeah, that's when I was coming up, that was a little bit more crazier. Like I'm looking at how the Lord done switch my mind on it, because I would talk real gingerly about that. Like, look, man, I'll go out there and get another wife. Yeah. If you ain't got no dough, you can't even play that. And why would you even want to anyway?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole world of its own within itself. Anything else, brothers and sisters?
Anybody got a question?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So, when the Lord returns, right, and He says, "We will judge the saints." I mean, the saints will judge. We're going to judge the world, right? Not exactly the verse says, but the saints are going to judge the world, right?
It say angels out there.
Angels.
Say angels. 1 Corinthians 6. We read.
Right. And so, does that judgment mean we're
going to judge them to hell? No.
Oh, okay.
It just means what we should be putting in practice right now. Learning righteous judgment, knowing how to discern judgment between man and man. You know what I mean? The right way, according to the book. You know what I mean? That's when you get set up. That's how it's going to be.
So does it expound on whether the judgment's gonna be like, so I mean I'm sure the judgment's gonna be based off of the law, so I think we'll talk. I see you pop up.
Nah, let me help.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead and turn to 1 Corinthians 6. I'll help you out a little bit. Cause we ain't judging no angel. Judge them how? What you gonna do? You put them in the lake of fire? They already going to the lake of fire, right? The third of the angels that went with us, they going to the lake of fire. So we're not putting them in the lake of fire. Well then, the third of the angels, by the time you be a judge, what is he? The third of the angels that sin, they all in the chain of darkness, right? So what is you judge? We're gonna answer the question easy though. Go ahead. Go ahead and read it. Started at wherever.
All right, don't matter. Brother, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every
Are we
man.
in the right place?
Yeah.
I'm
in Galatians.
I was searching all over.
Am I wrong? I might be wrong. I know we was there today. I thought
Nah, here it is.
Oh, he's not in 1 Corinthians.
I'm in there loud and wrong, but I'm in Galatians.
I'm like, this don't sound like 1 Corinthians 6. It sounds good though. Go ahead.
Dare any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust?
All right, so look what he's saying right now. So, we got a matter. Me and you got a matter. I hit your car. You said go to the law with this issue. We should be able to handle this issue. Me, you, and everybody in here, really. Because if I hit it outside anyway. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
All right. Before the law, before the unjust, and not before the saints. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
So now he's saying that the saints, when he starts talking about judgment here, man, he only just saying you're gonna be in charge of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, cause you're not standing on judgment day judging nobody. That's God's judgment. We can read that in Revelation chapter 20.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that ain't your judgment. So when it's saying the saints gonna judge the world, he's saying we in charge. At some point we're gonna be in charge. You're gonna keep going.
All right. Know you not that you shall judge angels? Oh, no. Do you not know saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. So he like,
So
look,
he's talking about addressing the situation.
Yeah.
So
Right.
You're gonna be judging the world.
you gonna be the boss. How you can't be a boss now on something simple as this that you got to go run and tell the police? Now let's look at the last piece of the answer. Psalm chapter 8.
Psalm chapter 8.
Yeah, Psalm chapter 8. So like we should be able to handle our affairs and our issues here. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to sit. We should never have to involve the police. Cause we ain't killing nobody in here. We ain't raping nobody. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so anything else should be petty. It should be silver stuff. And I don't know if you probably did rape somebody in here, you probably still wouldn't call the police. You just might not find your butt nowhere. I'm just gonna be 100. Cause we don't roll like that. So I can't. I know it sounds. That's how we gonna be. I wouldn't advise you to be doing that around here. Like, I don't know how that's gonna work out. but let me hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna want to hear that. Like, right? Yeah, y'all know better than that. So, like I said, everything else we should be able to deal with the law. But go ahead. We should be able to deal with ourselves and not have to take to the law.
Want to go for the whole joint?
Yeah, Psalms 8.
All right. O Lord, our God, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and suckling hast thou ordained strength, because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him?
So he's asking that question. What is man that you mindful of man? Like he made us to do what? To be what? Go ahead.
And the Son of Man that thou visitest him.
He's saying in the Son of Man, like you visiting this, that you answering our prayers, things of that stuff. Go ahead.
For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels.
So this is where the point of reference is in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, is that we started off lower than the angels. You see what I'm saying? It was said we were a little lower than the angels. Now Paul's saying we're going to judge angels. So that means you're going to be above them in relation to where you were. Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
And hast crowned him with glory and honor.
Right.
Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hand.
And the angels are the works of his hand.
That's right.
So man has dominion over the works of God's hands, including the angels. Even right now, the angels might snitch on you, but you're in charge of them if you're serving God. You tell them what to do. Like when Moses, like all the stuff Moses was doing, angels was doing it for him.
Right.
So who in charge of the set? Really Moses is. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that they just really minister in spirits, then by the time we get to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, he's trying to tell you, like, look, we're going to be over them. We judge them. We tell them what to do, not the other way around. They ain't like they don't tell us what to do. They tell us what the Lord say only. So hopefully that kind of helped clear it up a little bit. Great question though, because people be looking at, like I said, somebody hit me with that this week, like, we gonna be judged. The seed don't just say we're gonna judge the angels, and I just was like, you know what? I'm glad we don't pay you to think, bro. Cause that's just way wrong. Like that's not what you're saying is not a true statement. When you gonna judge an angel? I mean, you like redirect the question. When? You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be before the first resurrection or after? During the millennium period? Oh, I thought all that. Oh, maybe after the millennium period. Well, okay, maybe you will be. Like Brother Kenny said, a little season could be 1,000 years. Maybe you'll be judging the angels that came back out, but you've been had that skill. A whole nother day. You know what I'm saying?
During that time period, right, when we're going to have that power to judge, will there be sin in the world?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's eliminating itself. The author of sin is Satan. Yeah, we phasing out sin. And I would imagine that by the time we're done with that 1,000-year millennium, sin is probably gone. And then it's gonna come back.
So when New Jerusalem comes down, that's when, because that's the end of.
It's after the 1,000 years.
That's why that's kingdom.
It's after the 1,000 years.
After the 1,000 years.
After the 1,000 years, after the little season.
So the New Jerusalem, the Father's kingdom,
no sin,
doesn't have no
so
sacrifices.
No,
animal sacrifices.
not that we know of.
No flesh and blood.
Ain't no sun and moon. Yeah, ain't no flesh and blood. Ain't no sun and moon. You dig what I'm saying? Like. I told you, man, we gonna be dancing with the stars there, man.
Yeah, it's over.
I'll be looking for my own planet. I ain't gonna lie. I want 8 planets in the solar system this time. I ain't gonna confuse my science classes.
Yeah, real fast, just to solidify what he was just saying, like in Jesus' kingdom. Go to Isaiah 66 and verse 20. Pick up 17 to 20. Go read it.
They that sanctify themselves and purify.
Isaiah 65. I'm sorry, 17 through 20.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying.
Come on.
They shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor old man that have not filled his days.
Keep going.
For the child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
You know what I'm saying? This is in the Lord's kingdom. He's gonna turn it back to where he's making it. He's gonna bring it back. The man's gonna be living 200, 300 years old. You know what I mean? But he just told you right there, a child's gonna die 100 years old. But the sinner, you know what I mean? So like you said, it's gonna be sin in Jesus' kingdom, but it's gonna be weaning out. Because the devil's gonna be locked away. He's gonna be put away. So and all his minions gonna be at a standstill. You dig? So it's like
we still got the evil in us.
we still got us. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So guard your heart with all diligence, for out of the flow the issues of life. We read it earlier. What was that? Where you read? Was it in Matthew or Luke where you read? From out of the mind comes adulteries.
Matthew 15.
Yeah, Matthew. So out of your mind comes adulteries, fornications, deaths, all that stuff. So you gotta always keep your mind sharp with the word of God. So it's gonna be here. Sin still gonna be here, but by the time it's over and done with, it's gonna be going out the Father's kingdom. What remains gonna be in the lake with the snake. Lake with the snake.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Question finished? It's from Revelations 13. Right? And 11. The second beast that's coming out of the earth. I asked that question before and I was told that the second beast is the same Roman Catholic Church. That's making you worship the Roman Catholic Church? Like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me for some reason.
No, it's
the second beast.
The beast is the military head. It's two people here. It's the military head and the false prophet.
But in Romans 13, though.
No, because
Romans.
You want to read it?
I mean, Revelation 13, I'm saying. Now, what you're saying is true. What he asking, though, Revelation 13 speaks of
two beasts.
Different individuals. Exactly.
They're not the same beast.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
the second beast can't be Rome.
Right. Well, when you say which beast can't be wrong?
The second beast doesn't sound like it's wrong.
The first beast is wrong.
The first beast is wrong. Because
So
the
what's
second
the
beast
second
is
beast
having you worship
Antichrist.
Yeah, the second beast is the Antichrist.
That's what the second beast is.
He's not wrong. You dig what I'm saying? He's the Antichrist. The other is a government, Rome. The other is a king. We're gonna read the whole chapter though. That's the best way to do
cool.
it.
Yeah.
It's not a long chapter.
Pick it up at 13.
I'm with you though, because I gotta read in my Bible because I have to remember which way is which.
And I stood upon
Yeah,
the
That's
sand,
good.
And I stood upon the sands of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
So we know we're talking about the Gentile dynasty right here. All right.
How?
We can go right back to Daniel chapter 7, and it's going to show you. You know what I mean?
How? What's the references?
The reference of the Gentile.
In Revelation 13, the references are the feet, the bear, all
Right.
that stuff is referred back to in Daniel.
Daniel. Yeah. I had to understand your line of questioning. Yeah. Leopard, the bear, and the mouth. All right. Go ahead. The lion.
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
And I saw one of his heads, and it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
No. Go ahead.
This still that same beast. That beast got destroyed around 400, 500, 600 AD.
Right.
Came back really right around the Crusade period, around 900 to 1000. But really, it never come back like it was, but it will come back. You're talking about this beast, this government. That, the government that was spoken of in Daniel, when he was saying, you had, in Daniel 4, when he said you had the iron legs and iron mixed with clay legs and all of that. If we could go back and read it, but we're not trying to right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
All right. So you got that. That's wrong. You got that part right.
Yeah, I got all that.
All right,
I'm-
now let's go to
this-
verse 11.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, no, we just established one, then we're gonna mess with the second. It's easy, watch. Go
And
ahead.
And
Verse
I
11.
beheld another beast coming up out of the earth,
Yeah.
and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon.
Now this the Antichrist. But notice how he got 2 horns. He reverted back to Daniel again. When he started talking about Daniel chapter 8. That's what he on now. So both times he reverted back to Daniel. But then watch what he said in verse 12. Go ahead.
And he exercises all the power of the first beast.
Right, because he in charge of the first beast. So the Antichrist is going to be over Rome, the nation. But Rome is the one that's being. The Antichrist just got here at the end. You know what I'm saying? This particular dude, whoever he is.
So it's not a organization. It's actually an actual person. The second beast.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, we're going to see more about it. Watch. Keep going.
And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Right. Rome was hurt. Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Go ahead.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
So this a man, like notice how singular it's been the whole conversation. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
So the image ain't gonna be about the Antichrist. The image is gonna be about Rome. Like he's like, well, no, we need to make an image for our nation. Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Go ahead.
And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
So this is he doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? And the reason we know that it's really a God is because when you go back to Revelation 6, it's talking about the Antichrist, and it's like, yo, he holding the balance. You know what I'm saying? He got the scales of the money. And then right here, it's saying that he caused all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So now when you start looking at the number of his name, you see that it is vicarious Philadelphia, which comes out to be which means vicar of Christ, which is what the Antichrist or the popes have tagged in they.
I got that part.
Yeah, so
I was
this
just a little. It doesn't make sense to me what was told to me about the second beast being Rome.
The second beast not wrong though.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That I know. I could read it and see that it's not wrong. That's why I asked again to see if I would get a different question.
No, you're right though. Well, I don't know what you thought it was, but you're right. That's not
I thought it was another organization, like another church that came out of that first beast.
Right,
That's
I
having
understand.
everybody worship Rome.
Right,
I thought it was something like that.
Nah, this is the Antichrist. He's a beast too. It just narrowed him down. Like, okay, your nation was a beast based off the beast in Daniel. But then when it's all said and done, this dude at the end, he a beast too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why because this is not really talking about an organization, especially when we start looking at his, like verse 18. Here is wisdom, let he that have understanding count the number of the beast. That's really, you know what I'm saying? So now, if anything, we can do the reverse work. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what 666 is. Now, it's a bunch of 666. They say Ronald Reagan was 666. But dude, Ronald Reagan, first of all, ain't dead though. So you can't be it. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day though, then give me all your 666s, and the one that fits best would be the Antichrist or the Roman Catholic Church guy. Right. So you know what I'm saying? Meaning, because like I said, Ronald Reagan was supposed to be 666. Somebody else told me Saddam Hussein was 666. Yeah. Like, but at the end of the day, George Bush. That's So no, it's not wrong, bro. It's not wrong.
Yeah, it's a person.
Because the beginning sounds like a singular too. Like you read, it says him, and then it goes to the second beast.
Are you talking about in the first beast?
Yeah, in the first beast.
Let me
So
see.
you don't hear
Where you see that at though?
In the first.
No, where exactly? Oh, when you say that in his mouth as the mouth of a lion and his.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because, right. So this beast don't even look like a person at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's describing the beast, but the description of the beast goes back to Daniel. That's why it's personified in such case. You're like, okay, so look at him. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. So when he looked at it, he saw the beast. And he said, and the beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his 10, so he's
Not, not to cut you off, but when you go back to who the sea is, you see it's the people, right?
yes,
So
later in Revelation
this
17.
beast came out of the people.
Right.
Like this is the religion that came out of this people.
Yes.
That's why I thought it was another religion that came out of that beast.
I understand what you said, but when he's saying that this come out of the people, though, he really talking about a nation that come out of the people. Not so much a religion, because what religion do we see affiliated with it thus far in our reading?
Christianity.
No.
Going to-
Just what we're reading here. Meaning it says, and I saw the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea having 7 heads. So now what we got to do is go back and find this beast with 7 heads. That's going in Daniel chapter 7 and Daniel chapter 8. So immediately that it's going to identify the 7 heads, and it's going to tell you that that's, Greeks to the Romans, because the Greeks had the leopard head. Like all of this is fitting Daniel chapter 7. Okay. Then it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, from Daniel 7, or Daniel 8. I don't know, you got to go back and look at it. His feet were as the feet of a bear, his mouth as the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So all this beast that he's looking at has its power from Satan, but that we still haven't made it a church. We really made it whatever verse 1 and 2 is referring back to. You follow what I'm saying? That's what it is, meaning we haven't seen the religious aspect of it yet. So then he said, and I saw one of his heads that it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. So he's saying all the world wondered after Rome. And they worshiped the dragon. So the dragon ain't the beast. The dragon is Satan, which gave power to the beast. So it says Satan gave power to this government. Then it says, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with them? Like who can fight this beast? Which is still a government though. And we still can make it's just personified by a beast. That's why I keep calling a beast that we can tangibly see. Based off of Daniel. That's why I keep calling him him. Then it says, verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given to him 42 months. So now, I guess at this point, you could say that's the Antichrist, right? And we see the Antichrist later, true indeed. But Rome gonna have that same power though. Or if we go back to Revelation 11, it say until the time of the Gentile, or it say it's given over to the Gentile. So like they got the same time. The Gentile is Rome, so they got the same time and space, 42 months for this guy and for because it's really the same thing. Then he said he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name in his tabernacle, and them that dwell in the heavens. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given over all kindreds and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth, so on and so forth. So getting all the way to verse 10, and I understand really why you asked the question, because it sounds like when you get to about verse 6 through 9 or 10, that we're talking about somebody that's doing something. But we are. It's wrong. Rome doing it all. And he opened his mouth and like Rome gonna blaspheme God. Then it's gonna get more specific at verse 11 and start telling you like who the main player that they pulled out of this Rome. Because Rome at the end of the day is just a country. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who live in Rome don't gotta go to hell. So it's like, well, by the time you get to verse 5, there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. So it's still talking about this beast. We know that. And that it has power for 42, but at the same time, it doesn't go into the man until later. Like when it introduces this other beast, it's actually introducing a man. Whereas before, it didn't introduce a man, it introduced a beast that in turn had power from Satan and did some things. So it's like they talking about the same thing. It's like I'll give you a great example. It's like saying, we opened the church up in Dallas. But really, Brother Elijah opened up a church in Dallas. So now we might discuss all the moves that we did as an organization. And when we discuss them, some of the moves might be what Elijah did. But then I might turn back around and say, but this is what Elijah did to open up that building. It's the same concept. Like in Rome, in Revelation 13, Rome is the Antichrist. He coming from Rome. It's coming from that beast. Like he gonna be the one that's gonna be the power in the end. But then there's a player in Rome that's gonna be the power, and that's kind of how Revelation 13.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one,
Little one.
because I guess the other way to look at it is the first 10 verses is talking about, the first 10 is talking about the Antichrist and Rome. We would have to mix them together, and then we would have to say that the last part of it is talking about an addition. But now the problem with that is, well, you see the Antichrist right there in the end, though, 666.
Yeah.
So we know this got to be the Antichrist. So then what was the prior? Well, we go back to Daniel. So I'm just saying this is another way to eliminate the, well, how do I figure out who it is? You know what I'm saying? If you can start from the front and work your way back, it'd probably be easier than to start right there. Because when you work your way back, you're really gonna work all the way back to Daniel. You follow what I'm saying?
No, I know where it's coming from. I don't know. I didn't see it that way, and I needed help to see it the way I guess it's written. So,
Yeah, you're right. But just keep grinding.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, it's what you get out. Like what I said, that's going back to this whole Jerusalem stuff. Seriously. I really don't care. But have something that you can stand on. Have something, and if you're going to bring it in here, make sure it's biblically sound. But go get your own. That's the whole point. You can't take, Glenn, what I got to God. You can't do that. It doesn't work. It's just like when my man said, I drew you by the Jesus whom Paul preached. Doesn't work that way. You got to have an understanding. You got to go in there and grind it. It got to be yours. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, I like your response, but at the end of the day, it's what you know, what you see. And like you said, well, I can show you this is what I see, this is what I see, this is what I see. But it's on you to go, anybody. It's on everybody to go get your own doctrine. Straight up. Now, I ain't saying because two can't walk together unless they agree. So I'm not saying, oh, well, y'all two need to just be far left and far right so you can have your own. So, because no, we should all be coming in some common ground. Definitely Sabbath days, commandments, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the whole objective is to go get it. But I'm going to tell you like I told other brothers, when they say something that ain't right, you just make sure you can stand on that, bro. That's the response I'm going to like if we argue it out, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'll tell you what, man, you just stand on that right there. You know what I'm saying? You make sure you got something, like when you start talking to him, you make sure you got something to say what you're saying. Don't just be my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Have some facts. I'm not saying you that way. I'm saying I've told brothers.
I just didn't understand what the answer I got when I asked that question. Yeah. I didn't agree with that answer.
Yeah, you was right to not agree with it. I don't agree with that one.
That's what I was saying.
But at the end of the day, though, I'm just trying to tell y'all, make sure you go get it yourself. I don't need you to repeat Ira. You know what I mean? Like, or Bowie, or me. I don't need you to say what we say. Go in there and get it yourself so that when I talk to you or when somebody else talk to you, it's yours. And therefore, it's nothing nobody can take. Like, y'all ain't gonna have an argument on what day the Sabbath is with nobody is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already, what about eating pork? Y'all gonna argue with somebody it's okay to eat pork? At the end of the day, some stuff, man, we ain't arguing about no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's yours. Can't nobody take it from you. Israel is black. Look, I don't care what kind of book you show me right now. If you try to tell me something different, I'm just gonna say you're stupid. So, because it's mine, you can't take it away, and that's the point. You know what I'm saying? So, going back to Revelation 13, like, I say work backwards, but at the end of the day, whatever you get is yours. You know what I'm saying? And what you didn't get was whatever somebody else said. And you was like, nah, I ain't with that.
I'm good.
Eat the outro.
Anything else online?
Now we close it up, bro.
Very good, very good. All right, stand for Drew.
One last time before I go. Because after today, I don't want to hear about it. Now, I don't mean you can't ask questions in Bible study. Some people act like they feel like they can. You can ask whatever question you want to. Ain't nobody ever had no problem with y'all asking questions. Maybe last week, because Chris might have said he didn't want to deal with some stuff. And you can ask whatever you want to ask. But I say this right here. If you got any more questions as far as Jerusalem and its location is truly concerned to anybody, I have a phone number. I am listen. I will sit on that phone with you hour on top of hours on top of hours. And hell, if it's that important, I will bring my butt back up here in the middle of the week. Trust me, I will. To New York and sit in your living room to discuss this. But as far as the doctrine that we teach, we don't teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm sorry. Like, we just don't teach it here. So we're not going, like, brother, we're not going to keep doing lessons on it. That's what I'm getting at. It's over with. Now, I don't care what anybody, like, if somebody's sitting around here and we don't teach that. That's cool. I don't care if people, I'm sure right now, there's people outside probably trying to figure out how they can say, this is what we teach. I don't care. But when we come here, you know, like I said, you can call me. You ain't even got to call Ira. As a matter of fact, I prefer you not to call Ira dealing with this. I prefer for you to call me or Elijah. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, though, you know what I'm saying? What I'm getting at is, like, we don't agree with that. South Africa, Congo, East Africa, all the other places that they trying to say Jerusalem is, here at the Israeli Church of Jesus, we don't agree with that. And so we're not going to continue to discuss this, just like we ain't going to be talking about multiple wives either. Meaning, like, you know, that happened in Philly. Seemed like for a whole 3 months straight, all he talked about was multiple wives. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we're not going to do that here. So everybody, y'all understand that? Okay. Like I said, if you think that I don't even care if you think Jerusalem is somewhere else, this won't be the arena for it. Pick up the phone or something. You know what I'm saying? We can have that real conversation on the phone. Or if you really feel that type of way and you need me for some hours to sit there with you, oh, believe you me, I will do it. I will get up here, I will be here and enjoy my time with you. So, and bring whomever you ask me to bring. So I'm just putting that out there. So when anybody got something to say, well, they ain't want to deal with, oh, we could have dealt with it. But if you was in Bible study, we could have took your question. And if you need to deal with it more.
Again, you know, what I'm trying to say is this. Does it make any sense for somebody who doesn't like what, you know, our teachers are teaching here to continue coming? What are they coming for?
Well,
other than distraction.
That's a question.
We need Brother Elijah to get into this because we're not going to have people who don't believe in what.
Let me explain something. We'll
here every Sabbath.
Jude, just so you know, I don't need Elijah to do nothing. Trust me. I have all power and authority here. If I say somebody can't be in the building no more, trust me, Elijah not going to call me asking me why I did something. But what I do know is we don't really kick people out. We do not kick you out of the Church of God. You kick yourself out when you feel like you don't want to be back no more. Now, with that being said, I'm a headhunter. So if I see you on some folly, I'm going to call. That's just how I roll. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to let it be known. Mark those that cause division, contrary, like we read today. And so there's where it lies. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to kick anybody out of the house of God because I don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks. Maybe 2 legs break off and you change your whole mind. Like, I don't really care. But it's not my position to be kicking everybody out when this is a place where we're supposed to come to learn. But I will tell you one thing, though. I will shut you up, though. And have you sitting with I'm joking. I have you sitting with a bodyguard every week.
That's going to be
sweet. Hey, look here, you go to the bathroom, it won't be sweet. He'll be right with you. If I feel like you somebody that's going to be whispering at the book session. You know what I'm saying? And being all in, you know, the creeps in the closet. Then I'll check it. But I mean, you can call Elijah. You know what Elijah's gonna say? He gonna call me up what's going on. But he already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So to be absolutely honest with you, he already know. He said to me, as far as Sean Roberts, he was like, "That's why I only answered one time because I knew you was gonna have it." I mean, you understand? Like, cause meaning it's other stuff. It's messy. It's what it is. It's very messy, and that's why I'm here now to establish the fact. We ain't gonna deal with this every week. And I don't care if somebody say, oh, they didn't want to deal with it. So therefore, man, look at, can you show me a scripture? We'll deal with any scripture you want to deal with in Bible study. But I'm not moving to the Congo and I'm not moving to South Africa. That's the new location. To figure out if Jerusalem is over there. I'm not doing all that. I'm not looking for the skulls and all that. Because like you're saying, it ain't got nothing to do with salvation. But I will tell y'all something. It does. And it's not because not knowing where Jerusalem. Y'all ain't never, some of us gonna die ain't never gonna see Jerusalem. So who cares where it really was? But it's just about humility. And your humility is what put you in the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with a location. Period. I don't care. It could be in Greenland. Doesn't matter. But it's about humility. And that is the reason why I have to stand the way I have to stand. And sometimes I have to be the bad guy in all that. And I don't mind being the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I know right now that I'm not on everybody's favorite list around here. I don't really care. I do what I have to do, what I can do. And when the Lord see, or Brother Elijah, I'm not trying to, I'm saying whoever sits here next, they're going to be in the same position. The last person that sat here, Brother Brandon, he was in the same position, which is I don't live my life to appease y'all ideas of what decisions we need to make. So therefore, as far as the brother's concerned, he's always welcome to come as long as he can stand and walk with integrity in here. Once you do that, then you're going to have to leave for the day. Because like I said, it's not that I don't like you. I just don't trust you. But I might not like you that day depending on how you act. So I just want to make sure we all understand that. There is no problem. The only name, I'm just saying, the only name that's really been on the list is, like I said, is Brother Sean. Like, that's the only, like, the reason I keep saying that is because he has made it known now to not just myself, but Brother Elijah as well, that he is no longer on one accord with our doctrine. Now, to what parts he like and don't like, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? And to anybody that he infects, it is your fault. If you get infected by, you start running off with this, Jesus wasn't born on no virgin and stuff. That ain't my fault. That ain't his fault. It ain't nobody else's fault but your own. So I mean, that's your word. So that's why we're not gonna put him out. He's more than welcome to come. But if he cause problems though, he'll be front row. You know what I'm saying? He'll be front row with a babysitter. And then it'll be, oh, do we gotta walk somebody outside with you and escort you to your car? Yeah, we do that too. But we ain't gonna kick you out, because this is a house of prayer and learning for everybody. Mm-hmm. So I hope that's cool with you, Jude. Yep. But if you feel like it's you and him, because you having one of them days, go home and call me back. We'll talk about it. We'll deal with it. Don't hurt it. That's what I'm getting at. But no, seriously though, if you ever get in a position where you like, yo, bro, this ain't working, give me a call. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here every minute to make all the decisions. It might be your decision. You might say, yo, dude doing this, dude doing that, dude doing that. Then I might be like, well, shoot, man, he a cancer we can't deal with. You know what I'm saying? But right now, that's not the issue. It's not a point. I don't even care when people disagree. That's what y'all don't. Look here. Why I asked my man, like, who's outside, what's your favorite team? My team was the Lions. He said the Giants. See, I could care less what you think about your Giants. I love my Lions. 0-16 and all. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I'm getting at is, look, I really don't care how anybody, feel. We're going to try to do the best we can, and it's going to be what it is. And if I come back next week and there's 3 people here,